Hi friends, welcome back to Reimagining Our Faith. We are continuing to learn from the 12 disciples this summer and applying some lessons that we can learn from their lives to our own lives today. So today we have one more overview of the 12 disciples before we begin talking about them individually next week. In Matthew chapter 4, verse 19, Jesus says, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." When we think of the disciples, it's easy to imagine stained-glass heroes, holy and faithful people. But the truth is far more encouraging. Jesus chose ordinary people with ordinary struggles to carry out an extraordinary mission. Fishermen with calloused hands, a tax collector with a questionable reputation, a zealot with a fiery temper, men who argued, doubted, misunderstood, ran away, and sometimes completely missed the point. And yet, Jesus called them. And He didn't call them because they were ready. Jesus called them because He would make them ready. Jesus doesn't need perfect people. He shapes willing ones. Look at their stories. Peter denied Jesus, but Jesus still trusted him to strengthen others. Thomas doubted, but Jesus met him right in the middle of all of his questions. James and John wanted status, but Jesus redirected their ambition toward service. Matthew had a past, but Jesus gave him a future. Andrew wasn't loud or famous, but he faithfully brought people to Jesus one by one. The disciples remind us that God's power is not limited by our weaknesses, only by our unwillingness. Jesus never said, "Get your life together and then follow me." No, He said, "Follow me, and I will make you." Jesus actually takes responsibility for our transformation. That's a great reminder for us today. You may feel unqualified, inconsistent, or even unsure of yourself. You may think you don't know enough, you aren't spiritual enough, or maybe you haven't grown enough. But the disciples proved something liberating. Jesus doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. So today, instead of waiting to feel ready, take one small step of obedience. Pray for someone who comes to mind. Offer encouragement to someone who's discouraged. Read a few verses and ask God to speak to you. Choose kindness when frustration feels easier. Say yes to the nudge God has been placing in your heart. Small steps of obedience become a lifetime of discipleship as God works within us to help us reimagine our faith.